And over 10 years now of retail, I've found real evolution. Piranhas, signature jockey, same sort of thing. A lot of small, really close, fine rings, I guess you could say, along the barrel. I'm a big fan of jockeys, as I've always said. Best-selling dart in Hot Shots history. In 10 years, it began with a signature series. They've gone into a ghost grip. These guys are leaving lots of lines on my fingers. These are certainly darts you can hold on to. They're not slipping. Piranhas as well. Dart World down in the United States, I believe, put together, marketed, and branded the Piranhas. Fantastic dart. These guys will definitely hold on to your fingers. Again, all these darts, more information on them all. Hit hotshotscanada.com. You can find them. Now, and I'm going to touch on a bit. Let's go look at this here. We've got some unicorns out here. You know I'm a fan of unicorn darts. It's going back to 91, this catalog here. And if we take a look way back to 91, prior to a sponsorship of Phil Taylor's, the majors players that were in here at this time, Bob Anderson, John Lowe, Barry Twomlow, Cliff Lazarenko, down into Deller, Lim, Whitcomb. There were not a lot of barrels that were sharp back then, grip in that sense. Anderson's had a lot of rings together, so that may have helped you hold on to a dart. Lowe's as well, but there was nothing sharp. And if we flip through here again, not a lot of darts were created, and this is only back almost 20 years. There were not a lot of darts that had a sharp grip. Thought it was interesting as I was flipping through here. They actually still produced back in 91. Of course, I can't find it now. There we go, right there. Feather flights, actual natural feather flights, were available by Unicorn back in 91. We haven't seen these in years. Unicorn feather flights are handmade from finest selection of feathers to a high standard of excellence. Blister pack, 12 sets per pack. There's a standard and there was a Darrow. So anyway, interesting to see feather flights available back then from Unicorn. But back 20 years almost ago, they were not sharp darts. First one really on the market, and definitely for Unicorn, was Taylor's. Now, Taylor had a lot of rings. These are his recent Machinas, but his 80%, 90% tungsten darts, very similar, where a lot of double ring design to the barrel, and these double rings so close together really left a sharp grip on your fingers. And again, Taylor's really had a sharp grip. I'm not going to get into how pros throw, although it will be a future episode. I had somebody great this week mention that we should discuss a lot of the pros throwing. But again, lots of lines, lots of grip on these darts. Perfect for the player that's out all week long, working outside in the cold, or again, using your hands. My dart, the Scott darts even as well, leaving a lot of, we called this the vice grip. Looks like you've stuck your hand in a vice grip. Squeezed real hard, and that's what it's leaving on there. Now, as we turn our way out of there, out of you that work all week long, use your hands, or out of the player that's sort of looking for the sharper grip, our standard 80% tungsten darts, although they do have a knurled, they do have some rings, not as sharp, not as finely gripped, I guess you could say, as some of the others we've just seen. There is some substance there to hold on to, but certainly not to the extent of the others. Majority of darts out there in the market are very much like the John parts. Lots of rings to it, the original John Lowe's. Cliff Lazarenko's darts were like this. Bristol's darts had even further rings separated apart through the dart. Not much to hold on to. So for those of you that are not after something so sharp, I'm going to get right into the very non-knurled, non-ringed dart barrel soon. But John parts, lots of rings to it. There is a bit of grip, but nowhere near the severity of the others. Great 90% tungsten dart. John's won 3 world championships with them. So again, this all comes down to personal preference. For John, these have worked out really well. Now he's in the Machinas, and the Machinas again have a little bit more of a catch to it. But this pretty much is your standard dart that's out there for the majority of people, and very similar to darts that were available back in 1991. So for John's, this is about your average dart that's out on the market. To the very extreme, Terry Jenkins, who, I mean, there's nothing cut on this barrel whatsoever. Not sure how he throws these. There's absolutely nothing there to hold on to. Any moisture, any oils off your fingers, any dampness at all. To me, these things are just going to go sliding through your fingers. Black Widows have a similar barrel where there's not much to it. There are some rings cut through the Black Widow. We've got a great episode coming up soon on Black Widows. But the Jenkins, I mean, there's nothing there. We've sold these as more of a novelty, I think, for people. But with the exception of his signature engraved, there is zero grip on these darts. So as you can see, and it's really only been over the last 10 years that they've really, really gotten into sharper barrels, dedicated and aimed for those that really require grip. And remember, there's always accessories, and I've pulled some out here. Years ago, we used to use a bowler grip cream. Us kids used to use it thinking it was going to give us a better grip on the darts. I don't have a sample of one here. I wish I did. I used to go and grab it from a bowling alley here in Mississauga. I believe they thought I was sniffing glue. They shouldn't never believed I was using it for darts, but I actually was. But they should not have been selling that stuff to 14, 15-year-olds because it stunk, and I'm assuming you probably could have done some damage inhaling it. But anyway, great grip for darts back then. Grip cream. I'm going to have to find out why we don't have it here in store today. Rosin bags, and there's also a grip wax as well that's available. I'm not a fan of these, and here's why. If you're ever in the predicament where you're at a major tournament and you've forgotten it, you've now become someone that relies on it to play. If you go and use this for the next 6 months, improve your game with it, well, let's say you actually forget to bring it with you to a major event, the people that are selling dart supplies don't have either the rosin bag or the wax, you're in a lot of trouble because now in your mind you're thinking, I'm not going to do so well because this is not available to me. So unless you're always somebody who remembers things and are going to make sure you carry it with you in your dart case or your car or vehicle that you're traveling in, try not to use these, because if it ever occurs that you're in the provincial championships, nobody there has one or is selling one, you're obviously going to be in a real predicament. So they are available, they're worth trying, but again, remember, you need to carry them to every league play, to every tournament. Forget them once, you're definitely going to notice a difference. Anyway, grip, I think is huge, extremely important, as important as your throw. We're definitely getting into throw at some point, how to release the dart, how to hold the dart somewhat, although I let everybody find their own sort of comfortable grip on a dart. For the first time you throw a dart, definitely want to go over with you on finding the balance point, as we were all taught as kids, but I never want to change somebody's grip on a dart. The way you hold the dart needs to be natural. You do not need to be thinking about it as you approach the line to throw. If you have to correct it every time, you're never going to become consistent. And I'll sort of put it into perspective. When's the last time you've driven a car and thought about how many rotations to the wheel you had to take to turn the corner? And I think it completely applies to darts. If you have to think about how you're going to hold on to that dart before you throw it every time, and it's just not a subconscious thing that occurs, you're in a lot of trouble. So grip the dart as you always do naturally. So we're going to talk about throwing. We're also going to talk about stance. It's extremely important. Like the camera on this tripod, it's been consistent throughout this entire show. Your body needs to be just as consistent as this tripod. Do not move. Do not sway. Become consistent with the way you stand. And your darts will consistently land in the same spot. Once you build up practice and accuracy, you're going to start hitting those triples and doubles. Anyway, grip, extremely important, and it was for me when I played so seriously. I think it's going to be important for you as you enjoy darts at home, as you start beating everybody in leagues, and as you start winning more tournaments. Everybody, as always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate all the emails. Keep them coming through. Remember, Chris White contest is there online. Some of the answer where he won the 87 Canadian Youth Championships. Can't thank you enough. Again, this is the tipping point. We're really on to something here. Everybody, as always, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Get a grip.